China has seen tremendous economic and urban growth, but one of the costs, some of the worst air quality in the world. It's a health issue and increasingly a political one as well. Evan Osnos, a writer for the New Yorker magazine, just returned to the U.S. after living in Beijing for 8 years and joins us now. And welcome to you.
Thank you.
What's the significance of a reading this high? You've watched this for many years. Put it in some context.
This is unusually high. This is, to put it in perspective, people walked out of their houses today and thought that there was a blizzard, but in fact it wasn't snowing. This is how intense the air pollution was. They had to close the airport. They had to close schools.
Yeah, it's stunning to say, just the idea of shutting down a city of 11 million people or so?
Yeah.
What is that? What is
a city? It's 2.5 times the size of Los Angeles. This is way up in the northeast corner of the country. It's sort of the Buffalo of China. It's very cold, and the heat came on yesterday. That was the first big cold day of the winter, and when that happened, that meant that they burned all of this coal, and all that coal went up into the atmosphere, and it spiked, and you got this extraordinary, intense air pollution.
So when you say the heat came on, meaning
Chinese,
literally, this is how the heating system works.
Yeah, the Chinese government still maintains very strong control around the country, obviously. And one of the ways it does that is that it sets the day when the heat goes on. And so when the heat goes on for a city of 11 million people, that sets an enormous strain on the system. So you've got that, and then on top of it, over the course of the last 10 years, China's added 4 times as many cars to the system as there was before in just 10 years. So you have the combination of coal and cars, no wind, and you've got this extraordinary pollution.
Well, so as this is...
And cars, no wind, and you've got this extraordinary pollution.
Well, so as this has been happening, and not just in this city, of course, what kind of pushback is there? What kind of response is there now?
People are losing their patience with it. You know, for years, the argument in China that you heard from ordinary people was, our lives are getting better. We have cars we didn't have before. We have apartments we couldn't afford before. And we're willing to put up with air pollution. They're not as willing as they were before. If you go online to...
Written about this, about what it means in day-to-day life. Just give us a little sense of how people have to... How they cope.
I mean, I'll give you an example. We lived in China, my wife and I, for 8 years. After we'd been there for a while, people began to realize that the best Christmas present we could get were air purifiers, and that's what we used to get. We'd go into friends' houses and you'd comment on their air purifier. You'd say, that's a nice model you've got there. It became a part of life. I mean, this is